Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of Tilson Live. It is Tuesday. It is 2 o'clock. And it's Tuesday. It's 2 o'clock, and it's our 200th episode of something we planned on doing for like 4 months. So
I think we said 2.
Yeah, we said 2 months we would do this for, and that was 199 episodes ago. So it is Tuesday. It is 2 o'clock. We are live on Facebook, live on YouTube, coming at you as we do each and every single week. To talk about all things building on your land. I'm Eric Allard, part of the fourth generation of the Tilson family, which, by the way, we have the entire fourth generation of the Tilson family on today for this special 200th episode. I'm going to do some intros in a second. We have some ne'er-do-wells and troublemakers on board that we want to introduce. But the main thing we want is for you guys to drop into the chat. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. We want to hear from you. While we're going to have some it's a different format today. We're going to have some story time. We've got our grandpa on here. Excuse me, it's our uncle, but he is a grandpa on here. So he's going to lead us in some stories and little Tilson history lessons. But do jump in. Tell us where you're watching from, where you're building, what part of the process you are in. We want to hear from y'all. It is the whole reason we even do this show, is to answer your questions and make sure you understand what you're in for, and to ask us anything. And truly, today, you can ask us anything. And we've expanded our knowledge base today because we have an oil and gas expert on. So if you got questions about commodities or other kinds of interesting things like that, we really, really want to hear from you too. But
do I need to put like licensing information or anything on?
Yeah.
Disclaimers.
Of course. We promise you get what you pay for. So that's our disclaimer here. So I am joined, as I am every single week, by the great, the marvelous, and master of all things marketing and customer experience, Dawn Dantzler. How are you today, Dawn?
I'm doing well.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
You should be. All right, so I'm going to go around the horn, introduce some folks real quick, and then kind of let them take it away. But again, do drop into the chat where you're watching from, where you're building, part of the process you are in. If you have any questions about building on your land, obviously drop them in there. If you have questions about Tilson history, stuff that's maybe not in the brochure, ask away, and we'll wait for Eddie to wink or nod or give us the bunt sign, and we'll see if we can answer that as well. But going around first, our president and CEO, my uncle, Eddie Martin, is down here today joining us out of Austin, Texas. His son, my cousin, our chief financial officer, Brandon Martin. Wave, Brandon. And then you get to find out today, folks, why I need so much attention. It's because I'm the middle child.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We have, I know, yeah. We have both Chris. Oh, thank you, Don. We have both Chris and Andy Allard. You've never met Andy before. Right? Chris has joined us, but we got Andy.
I've had a couple of comments.
Yeah, he trolls in the comments. So that's my older and my younger brothers. So and collectively, us with our cousin Brandon make up the fourth generation of the Tilson family. So anyway, with that said, again, keep dropping into the chat where you're watching from, where you're building, part of the process you are in. We want to hear from you, and we'll do intros here in a second. But Eddie, tell us a little bit about your tenure with Tilson and experience.
So I'm married into the family. My wife, Brenda, is third generation. She's the youngest of Jack Allard's 3 kids. Your dad, of course, Keith, is the oldest, who passed in 2007, and then the second oldest, Kerry, he retired a couple of years ago, and that left me and Brenda. And I got involved through some issues back in October of 1989. And I won't go into the details, but Jack called me. I was doing something that was similar to his problem, and it took me from October of 89 to August of 90 and to solve the problem. And as I tell people, the way I got really involved is I was sitting around in the office working, not an employee, just a guy trying to solve a legal issue in a workout. And I get this call from my receptionist who says, "Hey, we have a really customer on the line that wants to talk to someone. And I said, well, I don't really work here. I you can talk to Keith or someone else, but I don't work here. And she said, well, they've already talked to other people and they're not really happy and they want to talk to somebody else. I'm like, okay, I'll talk to somebody else. So I talked to this lady and she was very upset. I asked a Tilson builder who ended up being our COO for several years before he retired and asked him to come out to the job. We went out to the job. It was nothing but cosmetic. It was very easy to fix. But the one thing she said to me after all the blaring of the Christmas music, since it was around Christmas time, and the headache that I had from the Christmas music, I said, you know, this house means so much to me because we've lived in, and she pointed to this dilapidated mobile home on the lot next to her. We lived in that for 30 years, and this is our first real house. And she had little tears in her eyes, and I'm like, you know what? This is a really cool deal. The Tilson is doing something for people that they would not be able to do by themselves. And I went back and talked to the fourth generation's grandfather, Jack, my father-in-law, and said, you know, if you need some house help in accounting or some legal stuff, I would love to be here and help you guys out. And, you know, about 4 or 5 months later in December 91, I became an employee. And that's how I started here because I thought it was really a much, much cooler business than being a CPA or even a lawyer. So
you left Arthur Anderson before Enron, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was before Arthur Anderson, before Enron. But I had also had in high school and college, I had spent my entire high school, college breaks doing commercial air conditioning. So I did have some construction experience, but it wasn't residential. So, but anyway, it's been a wild ride, and things happen, and we fix things that we don't do right, and we try to be, like we say, we're a family company. We try to treat our employees like family. Sometimes we don't always do the best job, but we try really hard. And that's what I like about this overall family. These people who are on the screen are the family that make it happen. And I appreciate them all.
Awesome. Thanks, Eddie. Appreciate that. Cool story too. Brandon, tell us a little bit about, and then after this, maybe we'll throw some of the comments up, Dawn, and y'all keep dropping your comments in. We are going to get to every single one of them, especially if you want to make fun of, hats or no hair or different things like that. We got pretty thick skin. Can't grow up with.
Don't make fun of me, please.
No. Dawn's not. We're not dragging her into this, but the rest of us.
Spent a lot of time together whenever we were young, for sure.
Yeah.
So I got involved in the business about 13 years ago. Our accounting manager decided that she was going to retire. And so as a result, Eddie gave me a call. I was in public accounting before. I did public accounting for about 4 years before that. And I was at a local firm here in Houston. And I got a call kind of out of the blue, I felt like, from Eddie saying, hey, our accounting manager is retiring. Would you like to come over and work? And, it's funny, growing up in the family company, you would think that would be a real like easy instant. Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Why not? It's what you're expected, if you will. Right. But it was actually not that. It was a little bit of a hard decision just because I did actually enjoy public accounting, oddly enough. I enjoyed what I was doing at the time. And Eddie and I went back and forth on a couple of things. And of course, I sat down with my wife and we went back and forth on a couple of things. And when everything was kind of all said and done, we're like, well, yes, it's still the family company. And what it is eventually where we wanted to be in the first place. So that's what brought me over in April of 2011. And at that time, I became the controller over the accounting department, and working with our CFO at the time, Sue Pinger, and getting mentored by her. And over the next, I guess it was 5 or 6 years, I can't remember exactly when Sue retired. She retired, and she gave me the accounting portion of her job, and insurance and all that other fun stuff that kind of comes along with it, and left to go pursue more fun things than just hanging around here. But to answer the question of why, what I like about being here at Tilson, it really is, and Eddie already touched on this, it really is the family aspect of it. It's the people. I had the blessing of being able to go to my daughter's school today and talk about what I do for a living with them, with a bunch of
Was it
teenagers.
Bring Your Dad to Work Day?
It was Bring Your Dad to Work Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
career day.
It was very serendipitous that it was today, the same day as we're doing this. I'm like, all right, well, I mean, I'm already kind of doing that, so let's go ahead and get a head start on it. So, but I got asked, what do I like about what I do? And it was the people. It's working with the people we work with. You don't always get to choose your family, but making the decision to work with your family and work through issues and having the rewarding feeling of accomplishing goals together and those aspirations, I find to be very fulfilling. And to incorporate the rest of the Tilson family, the team that we work with here at Tilson, obviously Don being included, and like that is also just as rewarding, because I think we have a lot of good people here who just really want to do the right thing. And that's something I truly value and appreciate. And I certainly hope it shows in the way that we treat our customers, because our customers are part of that Tilson family as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
So guys, drop into the chat where you're watching from, where you're building, part of the process you are in. Thank you, Brandon. Don, let's throw some of these up there right now, and then we'll get to these two other derelicts.
We got PM Madrid joining us from Facebook.
Oh, nice.
We got Denise saying happy 200th episode, building a Canyon D in Chapel Hill. We have our site meeting on Friday with Juan. Oh, that's
very
so exciting. That's
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
We've got Misty. Congratulations on 200 Tilson Live, saying hello from Hood County, enjoying our San Jacinto XL.
Yeah,
oh, awesome.
nice.
Thanks for joining us again. We're actually planning to show up your house next week. So excited about that. We've got Houston Ray saying, we missed you. It's Farron and Adrian, Arlington C, Waller County. Since we last chatted, the old house has been demolished. The land is cleared. The appraisal is done. And we're on schedule waiting on the Tilson well guys. So excited. Oh, that's awesome. Glad to see you've made so much progress. And yeah, we've been absent for a few weeks. We don't usually go that long, but just schedules aligned that we've been gone for 3 weeks, but we'll be a little bit more regular once we get through the holidays and everything. We've got Rachel saying happy 200th episode. Hey, Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel.
We've got Jennifer. Congrats on 200. Currently watching the build process from our RV. We're building a Shiloh in Whitesboro. Drywall and tile work this week. Awesome. That's exciting.
That sounds chilly. Whitesboro is on up there. That is almost Oklahoma.
Yeah. We got Clee saying building in Huntsville, heading to design next week and stake out the week after. Excited to see ground break. Oh, wow. You're just getting started. All right. And then we've got Farron and Adrian decided Facebook was better. So we've got a question about wells. Eric, we're using Tilson to contract it. We're told 3x3 concrete pad is standard. Is that big enough? What if we want to put a small shed over it? Do we need a bigger pad, or is that an option? What is normal, or do we put gravel around by the 3x3? If we have a filter water softener, don't those go on the pad too?
So you have options, Farron. That's a great question. It's big enough for the pressure tank, which is really that's what's going to go on top of there. It's not optimal to have the well itself in the concrete, because it may have to be worked on at some point. So if you're going to build a shed for the actual well portion, which is doable, it needs to be something that the top can be removed, because if they ever have to come in and literally serve it. So let's say that you're in Waller County. So let's say your water well's, I don't know, 185 feet deep or 250 feet deep. I don't know what it's going to be, but it'll be what it'll be, to get good water, a good aquifer. They may have to sometime, that well pump could need to be serviced at some point, and that it's a submersible pump. So that pump is actually down. So if the well's 200 feet deep, that pump might be at 190, 185 feet down. And they may have to at some point, and there's electrical going from that all the way up to the power source at the top, and they may have to literally pull that well, the pump, to service it. So like mine is actually outside of my little well house shed part, and I have like a little mini shed built over that I can take the front end loader of my tractor and just pick it up and move it over. And I have had to do that. We had to service it once. So that I don't, 3x3 is plenty big for the pressure tank, which is what the big bubble thing you see, that it's not even what holds the water. It does have water in it, but it's designed where the top third of it or so is actually air, and that's how you get pressure on your house. Say it's a miniature version of what you see in a water tower in a small town. It's a miniature version of that. It's just for your own home. So if you want it bigger, I'm sure that we can get pricing to make it large enough where you could build a shed or something around it. I like the idea of the gravel around it. That's what I have around mine, the actual wellhead portion. So I have gravel around there, and if my kids are doing what they're supposed to do, there's Roundup sprayed around there, and we don't have weeds, which means there's tons of grass there right now because we don't do that. But that's what's supposed to happen in an ideal world. But yeah, there are options. We could get pricing from the well contractor to do a bigger pad. I know, Brandon, I think we did that.
I was actually going to say that's how big my pad is. My pad for my well is 3x3. We built a shed around it. I've kind of resolved that if it needs to be worked on, we'll bust through the roof and work on it, whatever needs to happen at that point. But it's plenty big enough to have storage things on.
So the guy who's not going to be servicing the well.
I know.
Knock on everything though, because you just made that happen.
But regarding the filter, the water softener, we also have a water softener as well. It is not on the pad. It is in our garage.
Yeah.
So there's a water line from the well to our garage specifically for that, and a drain line specifically for the water softener. So that, and so far I've had the water softener service before already, and I haven't had any issues.
Yeah, Aaron asked, make sure with your sales consultant there and Katie that you have roughed in for a water softener. You probably did talk about this point, but just if you've done that, that's what we're going to do it in the garage. Most likely there'll just be a loop. There'll be a 110 outlet because the water softener does need power, and there'll be like Brandon's saying, a drain for when it does the regeneration, dumps the salt water out. It does not dump it into the septic tank. It'll be stubbed separately. You'll need to build like a little rock bed for it. But yeah, on the right track, man.
Awesome.
Thanks, Brandon.
All right. Jason's saying he's filled an Apollo Duro in Bandera. The stakeout is tomorrow, and congrats on episode 200.
Thanks, Jason.
And then Farron had another question. Quick follow-up on water testing. At what point do they let us know or when to worry about it if we need a filter or need a water softener before the build or after?
Okay, so if you're even thinking about it right now, go ahead and add a stub out loop for a water softener, rough in for a water softener, do the change order, be done with it. They can be added later. It's not the end of the world, but it is nice to have them on beforehand because it's the first thing that the water's going to go to when it comes into the home. There'll be a valve with a loop. If you don't get one, the valve will just be open and water just goes straight to your water heater, which is the other first source that it goes to when it doesn't go to a water softener. So the testing can be done. Really, you can test the water as soon as they drill the well, because they're going to put a hose bib when they cap it, when they get the well completed, when they'll have a hose bib there somewhere where you could get water tested. You do need to run it for a while. Like, it's not ready to roll right away. So run some water through it. They'll have a recommended amount. But then there are water testing facilities, and actually your lender is going to require a water test anyway. But Waller County, probably on their website, has testing facilities that you could take your water to. You could take it to Culligan. I like Culligan. Good outfit. Buddy of mine owns one in College Station. I am also want to warn you that they're going to test it, and then they're going to tell you all the things that you need to make it where it won't kill your family. and turns out they sell those things, strangely. So just kind of, it is nice to have an independent facility test it, and they'll tell you whether or not you need, do you need chlorine in it? Do you need to run it through some kind of filter? But yeah, I mean, some kind of filtration system is going to be highly recommended. You probably don't need as much as you think. So,
All right.
Great questions.
Then we've got Donna saying happy 200th, hoping to build in Bell County at some point. All right. Well, come on in and we'll make it happen for you.
Let's go.
Yeah. We got Gina saying happy 200th. Hey, Gina. Good to see you again. We got Taisha, happy 200th, building in Victoria County, the Marion. Just did our notes of love today. Very excited, happy, and pleased with the whole process thus far. Moving along fast and smooth. Awesome. It's great to hear. And then we have Eric saying greetings from Beaumont. Hey, Eric.
What's up, Eric? Oh, sorry, Eddie. You're not the only attorney on here anymore.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right. So, guys, keep dropping your questions, comments, everything into the chat. Any old school Tilson questions you want to know about? I know Don, somebody on the team went to great troubles to put some older pictures. I saw that. That was nostalgia. That was like my entire childhood flashing before my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of brown and a lot of yellow. A lot of brown and yellow. A lot of Harvest Gold appliances. And given my childhood, let's talk about these two guys. So we got we'll go youngest to oldest. We'll go in height order. So let's see. We got Andy Allerin, who y'all have probably not met yet, but he is technically one of our shareholders, and he is my brother and Brandon's cousin and Eddie's nephew, and a troll and Thorn and Don's side in the chat sometimes. So he's joining us today. Lives in San Antonio, Texas. Tell us a little about, because you got a little bit different experience there, huh, buddy? But we got some similar childhood memories.
Yeah, I have. I am I'm certain I'm the only one of the Allerids and Martins not in the Tilson family yet, so to speak, as an employee, I should say. It was kind of an interesting a way of in a much appreciated advice from Eddie and my dad, and of course my grandfather. I was fortunate enough to go to school at Texas A&M, and I had a genuine curiosity about commodities and trading, and so I was a finance major out of A&M. And when I was graduating, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and so when I asked who I called Daddy Jack, my grandfather, and my dad, what they thought I should do, their recommendation was something that I will recommend to anyone that's in a family business, and that is to go do something else outside of the company, learn something else, and bring something of value back to us that we don't already know. They said that you could have come to work for Tilson without an education. You didn't need to do that. But you would have only known the Tilson's ideas. And it's always better to have sometimes some outside perspective and bring something else of value back to the company. So I have, in my, I guess, almost 20 years out of college now, there's 2 times that I have called Eddie and asked for a job at Tilson. One time was really not a good time, 2008, the financial crisis. It also wasn't a great time in the oil and gas business. I remember having executed a trade that ended up costing about $1.5 million. And all I wanted to do was crawl in a deep hole, about as deep as those wells in Waller County. And what I could do to not show my face in my company's office at the time. It was a trade floor in Plano, Texas. And he's like, yeah, not a great time to be in the home building business either. So not a lot of opportunities at Tilson. If you need to build something, you can have a job building houses, but I don't think that's what you want to do right now. So stick with it, get through it. And that was almost 17 years ago that Eddie told me that. And I have appreciated that advice ever since. And I still sit on the sidelines anytime I'm waiting for my number to be called. The 12th man is not going to do it. The 12th man is not going to call me. So, no, I have had the incredible opportunity as the grandson and the nephew and the son of certainly one of the patriarchs of the family and Tilson family with Jack Allerid, and just I always had a different idea for what Daddy Jack was versus what Jack Allerid at Tilson Homes was like. I knew a lot of the as a toddler all the way up until last year's retirement party with one of the ladies that watched me run around in diapers. And, she's like, yeah, no one really ever wanted to cross Jack Allerid. And that was just a different idea for what I knew Daddy Jack versus the man that built Tilson what it is today. So I'm still waiting for my number to be called. So you just let me know. But I'm sure Eric will probably throw it in my face. There's not a lot of private jets that fly to golf courses in Sea Island, Georgia with customers in the home building business.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that. That's it's not we have a gator. We have a corporate gator. It's a side by side, real nice.
Is that the one we ran over at the Extreme Makeover build?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You have a blown engine in yours.
Yeah, I have a blown engine in mine. We're hard on equipment, man. We're just hard on it. That's all there is to it. I don't know what to tell you. All right. So, and then last but certainly not least, the man who also took his uncles and father. I did not, by the way. I one trick pony. I came to work at Tilson, and
that's not true. You did something else for like 3 months. But there was a need.
I did. I worked with Chris, actually, of all things, strangely enough. We've been intertwined for a very long time. But my older brother, mine and Andy's older brother, Brandon's oldest cousin, our senior vice president, Mr. Chris Allerid. Hi, Chris.
I feel like I'm supposed to applaud.
Chris Allerid. I think I've been on one or two of these before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're on the 90th episode for the 90th.
I have not been invited back in a long time.
I didn't know we were hurting these people this bad.
I know. I'm sorry. We'll invite you more often.
We got Andy announcing how many years of eligibility he has left. We got Chris on the last time he was like, I'm going to the transfer portal. That's where I'm going.
Yeah. So I guess in the mid 90s, I kind of did some stuff with Tilson, growing up. I guess I was in high school at that point. Warranty work and sales assistant in Buda, which is where we found out real quick I didn't belong in the sales office. And so, after high school, kind of got into a career in telecommunications and networking. So I went off and did my own thing. Actually, without the advice, I think it was just assumed that was probably best for everybody. So I went and actually spent the first 10 plus years of my career in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, and consulting for telecom and networking and data center stuff. And then, oddly enough, which seems to be the theme of the other two gentlemen on here, a random phone call from Eric.
I have not gotten mine yet. What is the deal?
I was gonna say, even I got my random phone call from Eric. So.
And I guess it was October of 2013.
Probably,
asking if I'd be interested in coming down and helping with some other issues at that point. And so I did. And I've actually recently found out that Eddie wasn't sure that was a good idea, but that's okay.
What?
You don't have to. It's okay. We passed it. It's okay.
Clearly we're over.
Yeah, so I've been here since the end of October 2013. So I oversee all of our design and drafting and what we call cost management, which is like our estimating and pricing and fleet services. And yeah, I mean, mine's a lot like Brandon. I really do enjoy, it's fun working with family. It can also be a little bit, different at times.
Go on.
Yeah. Yeah, we're very good at speaking our feelings to each other.
We speak the truth in love. Sometimes it's just loud. That's all.
Yeah. We speak the truth very loudly. Yeah.
Eric and I can compete for who can be loudest because whoever loudest is right. but it's fun, and I all the people that work with us, we work really hard to make them feel like there's no Allards and Martins, it's just Tilson,
Mm-hmm.
and that's important because they really do love what we do. So it's different. Most people wouldn't do what we do.
No doubt.
So I enjoy
No
it.
doubt. So yeah, we when we were little kids, our dad Keith, who you've heard talk about, he was a building superintendent when we were little, and then as we got a little older, he moved into the office, doing kind of what you're doing now, Chris. So the kind of running the job costing, that kind
He
of
did
stuff.
have some decorations, though, just for the record.
So tell me about that. Let's talk about the decorations.
This is a shared office, so I'm trying not to take it over.
Yeah, but some of my best memories growing up were hanging around, like getting to go to the old Tilson office, right? So the one at Tidwell and 45, where we had a design center there, of course, for a long, long time. But that was actually for the longest time, folks, Eddie, from probably 1961 to 98 there-ish.
Yep.
You're answering the question. I'll put it up.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that was where the offices were. I mean, that was where drafting was. That's where job costing was. That's where accounting was. And it was 6 or 7 different model homes that were kind of pieced together with plywood hallways. So you would kind of walk by a bedroom and that was somebody's office. But you'd walk in and Loopy was always like front and center when you walked in. The receptionist he was talking about earlier, Loopy Camarillo. Incredible, like just great memory of my childhood, walking, beaming with smiles every time you walked in. And it was a different working environment. I mean, to put it mildly, we got a lot more done because people could smoke at their desks. So that was kind of cool. You walked in and it was dark paneling everywhere, right? Like it was all the 70s dark paneling in every single room and like shag carpet. And the kitchen was exactly that. It was the kitchen, like people would be in there. It was what I found. I didn't at the time. It didn't make sense. It didn't mean anything to me because I was little. But looking back, you had like Jack Allard. So the president. I guess at the time it was CEO. I guess because James Sloper was president.
Chairman.
Yeah, he'd be there like making his salad right beside, the by Lupe. And it was just family. Like that's where we ate. We ate in the dining room at the table in the office. Like that was. But I remember you had to walk back, like even to get to your office at the time. I think if you built a augmented reality of that thing, I still don't think I could find your office. If I had find my dad's and I could find Jack's, but I don't think I could find yours, Eddie.
You just keep on walking.
That's all it was.
Very, very back.
Yeah, you just keep on walking. Go through every single other person's office on the way back to his office. You'd get.
I don't know how to pass. If Fire Marshal would have had a field day in that place.
That's probably true.
It would take me 30 minutes to leave my office, walk through everybody else's office because you had to walk through everybody's office,
yes,
and get out to go home. 30 minutes.
Didn't you have a back door? I thought you had a back door.
Yeah, but it led out into the lawn, and then I'd have to walk across the lawn and hop the fence.
In that part of town, that could get you arrested.
Yeah, man.
It could.
Shot.
You may not make it to your car. Yeah, you may not get to your car. Anyway, that's my favorite memory. Was well, there's others if we have time. But I got plenty of others.
That's awesome.
A lot to do with that part of town.
Well, I have obviously again a different perspective. My most of my experiences were either holiday parties or Christmas parties, where that was kind of my one chance I'd get to go back to the office if it wasn't going to the office with my dad. I did. Like Chris said, in the summer times, I had the summer jobs at Tilson's offices. I was either, filing stuff in the filing cabinets. I guess that was the extent of what I was. I knew my ABC, so that was the extent of what I was allowed to do. But I just remember as a little kid, you kind of have a different thoughts of what everyone is, and I just always thought and felt like everyone was part of the family. I'm like, who's this uncle? Who's this guy? Who's this aunt? But they weren't family, so to speak. They were just part of the Tilson family, but everyone was so close and knew me that they treated me as if I was, just the sweetest kid, but then I got to go home and I was not. But my mom made sure we stayed in line. But yeah, my Tilson memories are, I got to build, Brandon and I, one summer, we spent the whole summer building a barn with my grandfather. I think at the time, Jack was probably late 70s. This was summertime in
I was
Houston
15.
County.
I was 15, so because I didn't have my driver's license. I think you did, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I was 16, so that'd have been 99-ish, 2000.
Yeah, because y'all wrecked a perfectly good 76 Chevrolet and destroyed it. But go ahead.
Yes.
So
that was Andy. Andy broke it.
Jack Allerid was scaling ceiling rafters at 70 years old. It was about 105 degrees outside, and Brandon and I were doing everything we could do to get in the shade. And Daddy Jack was just, "Hey, these screws aren't gonna drive themselves. Get up here on this hot tin roof and drive the rest of these for me."
Yep.
And that was what we did. And so again, my experience was Grandpa working at Tilson, but I saw what it meant to him, and I saw what we meant to him. And it's always been, a pride for me to be able to say that I am a member of the Tilson family, and carry that legacy with me. I don't get to be the face of it. I'd rather be it than Eric, but I guess Eric's going to be the face of my generation.
I mean, just look at it. Which one would you choose? I mean,
Wait, I had a choice?
Face for radio, buddy. That's me. Yeah. Anybody else? Favorite memory? And then we got some other questions to get to.
My favorite, I'll say a memory. I don't know if I would say it's my favorite memory, but it was certainly a fun memory. It's kind of a contrast to Daddy Jack versus Jack Allerid, as Andy's already kind of referred to. But I remember in 2003, I was interning for Tilson. At this specific time, I don't remember what I was doing for this particular project, if you will. But it seemed like it was a good idea to call Jack and just ask him the question, because I figured he would know the answer.
Just call the chairman of the board real quick. Just ring him up.
Yeah. Well, he was Daddy Jack to me, and I could ask him the question. And so I asked him the question, and before I knew it, my boss was in my office saying, "Hey, why did you call Jack? Jack is asking a bunch of questions about all these things." And I'm like, I was not expecting him to do that, because, for me, it was just a simple, easy, hey, just answer the question and we should be good.
But like, how do you tie a hook on a fishing line? How do you do
I was not
innocent,
I'll tell you that right now.
You did not know it would lead to a complete audit of the accounting department.
It led to an audit of something. It led to a number of questions, and that was when I realized, it's a very different animal to just ask him about a business thing versus personal things, if you will.
Yeah, a number of my visits early on from Eddie and Mike in my career were a direct result of casual conversations I had with Daddy Jack. It took a while for me to learn how to dial that in and recalibrate the conversations that we have. And it was.
So what I'm hearing is there were no casual conversations with Jack Allerid.
Well, for us there were. He's our grandpa.
Yeah.
Well, for you it was a casual conversation with Daddy Jack, but for everybody else it was Jack Allerid.
Yeah,
it turned into more than a casual conversation.
Curiosity.
Yeah,
and he was very gracious with me, and for whatever reason didn't run me off. So I appreciate that. Thanks, Eddie.
Awesome. All right.
So we got a couple of comments, and then we got some more time to share some more stories. You guys keep dropping your comments into the chat. We'll answer every one of them. Questions, comments.
All right. We have Fernando asking, should I be worried if my builder forgot to install the sewer drain for the sink in the utility room and had to run the pipe to the hot tube drain, building in Hidalgo County?
Yeah, so this is not one of our jobs because we definitely don't build in McAllen. Andy, you do business down there somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, I do a lot of business down there.
Just not so yeah, this is not a Tilson home. But Fernando, what I would say is a sink in the utility room. To forget the drain, it's not really the end of the world. I know it sounds kind of a ridiculous thing to say. Depending on its proximity to a washing machine, you might be able, or a bathroom even, you might be able to, they may be able to run that drain, because it's really just a 2-inch drain coming out of the bottom of that sink, and has the P-trap that's underneath the cabinet part. You can see that it goes into the wall. It can go to the left or the right. It doesn't have to go immediately down into the slab or into the foundation to drain. Not every single plumbing sink or shower has showers and tubs do, but not every single sink has its own dedicated drain. They'll usually loop into, like, strictly dual vanity situation. They'll loop to one or the other, and then they go to the sewer line from there. The idea is just to minimize the number of penetrations in the foundation. That's all. So it's not the end of I don't know. It's not like you're saying hot tube drain or hot tub drain. I don't know about having a hot tub unless it's going to your master tub, which is fine. Like, as long as it has fall, it's going to be okay. So that's without having any context of what the floor plan is or who the builder is. I don't know for certain, but I do know that if they can get fall from the bottom of that sink to either a washing machine or a tub or a sink in another room, we look at floor plans overhead sometimes. We look at them all the time. You look at a house, you kind of forget that a half bath might be on the other side of that wall, from where your utility room is, or a master bathroom maybe on the other side of that wall from where that utility sink is. So it's not always the end of the world to forget a drain. Just drain it one way or the other and go.
Okay.
But you should ask for sure.
Yeah. All right. We got Jason McDaniel saying, "Hey guys, I'm a little late to the party, but congrats on the 200th. We had our stakeout and finalized the design choices. The access road goes in next week. We are so excited." That's
He's
awesome.
up in Angelina County. I think that's where our mom is, by the way, guys. She's up as usual. She's at a funeral in Lufkin. So,
okay.
I had no idea.
I got a letter 60.
She usually sends me a text that I'm on my way to Lufkin. Okay, Mom. 400 miles away from you, so let me know if I can help.
So don't make us bring her on here. She'll tear you up.
Speaking of far away, we've got Will saying hi from Klondike.
Hey, Will.
Hey, Will. He says, "Congrats on the 200th. What a blessing." Yes.
Agreed. Thank you, friend.
Will has been watching from the very beginning, guys. So I'm pretty sure he was with us on that first episode in March of 2020.
Was
awesome.
And let's see. Then we've got Taisha asking, "Am I able to use my attic for storage at all?"
Chris, what do you say to that?
Well, it depends on what it is. I don't know where they are in the process, but obviously we can work with them to figure out what they want to put up there and where they want it, and we can figure something out. But
yeah, it's not designed, Taisha, for like what most people use it for, quite frankly. I'll be perfect. That includes my own wife. So they're just not designed for that. But there definitely does have to be a catwalk between like where the disc spring staircase is and any equipment up there. So HVAC, or if a water heater is up there, we do have to provide you with a catwalk for that. The goal is to keep the catwalk open and unobscured, so that you can actually traverse, like change your air filter out on your that kind of thing. Yeah, it depends. So Eric's calling me out, by the way.
You can tell Eric watches a lot.
That is a bad Ericism. I say it depends a lot because it does, Eric.
It does. So it does.
I think it's even Chris said it depends. Now it's like it's an
because it does.
Everybody's coming in.
Oh,
No pack. It can be golden too, but no Pac-Man.
Okay, so my wife has. Yep, she just.
Rachel's saying, "Hey, it's not just me putting heavy things that shouldn't be in an attic in an attic."
And yes, I designed that area for a Pac-Man arcade game, so it's perfectly fine for that. Anyway,
in case you were wondering if the spray foam in the attic keeps it cool enough, there you go.
All that to say, we all have to escape somewhere, Dawn. So all that to say, Taisha, that the attic's going to be spray foamed, so that helps with what's up there. But there are still going to be plumbing lines running every different direction. There's electrical lines running every different direction. There's attic ductwork. So it's not designed to put really heavy things. Like a couple of boxes, Christmas ornaments, that kind of stuff, totally fine up there. but it is not designed to be a second floor. If there is, like Chris was saying, like, we can do things to accommodate heavier weight up there. That is why there's a price difference to do like a bonus room, for example. We literally are not doing the same thing with an attic. It's getting floor joist. It's getting, subfloor, decking. It's getting it's going to be treated as area that's going to handle live and dead loads. There are actual live and dead load calculations. I won't quote those. Chris has those in some obscure drafting detail somewhere. But
they're actually given to us.
Right, that's true. Yeah, no, they're dictated.
Engineer.
Let's not store kettlebells up there. Let's not store dumbbells up there. Let's put those things to work. But other than that, a couple of light Christmas ornament things like that, going to be probably okay. Some storage boxes, all of your winter clothes, totally fine. Keep up there in a storage bin.
I would say a rule of thumb is if you can carry it up the disappearing stairwell, it's probably safe to carry upstairs.
You stole mine. Yeah, that's what I usually say in these situations. Is that if you have a hard time getting it up that little ladder and up there, it probably shouldn't be up there.
Yeah.
Well, when
getting it down is way easier. Gravity does the
hard. When I'm asked to put stuff in my attic, I just act like it's really heavy.
Also, Pac-Man arcade games are totally fine in an attic.
If you design the space for that.
You're right. Yes.
All right. Taisha says yes, just thinking of Christmas decorations, not a lot of things. Thank you for the info. And I'm going to assume she also enjoyed the entertainment.
It changes the whole dynamic now that Rachel's watching. I'm going to shut up. Okay. Any other folks, keep dropping your questions into the chat. Mm-hmm. If there's Tilson employees watching, don't be bashful. Drop questions in there. I can remember a time. So the area that was in, right, Eddie, at Tidwell. I remember my dad going to his office once, and all the offices had the burglar bars on the exterior. Remember, so if you did catch fire, you're for sure dead because you can't find your hallway to get out, and you're not climbing out the window. So
and it's all wood. Everywhere.
Sliding glass door in the kitchen.
That's right. And anyway, I remember an occasion where he went to his office, like with his little briefcase with there. He had a really big, long office, if I remember right, really long. And
that's true because I got set on one side of it an entire summer.
Oh, there you go. See, okay, so confirmed. It was a long office. But I remember walking in. It was when he would take us, like we were going to go with him. And we were going to spend the weekend at my grandparents at JoJo and Daddy Jack's house, right? And so we'd ride in with him. And I remember we walked to his office. Oh, good. Thank you, Taisha. You're the one. And he opens the door, we go in, and someone had backed a truck up to the burglar bars and pulled the side of his office off. It was just not there. And he went and set his briefcase on the desk as if it was Tuesday. Like nothing happened. That was one of my fond memories of I-45 at Tidwell Road.
To complement that, I also remember the short-butted shotgun he had in the sleeve of a jean that my mom had sewn for him.
We don't talk about that.
Statute limitations is run out.
That was Tidwell. That's why that site's no longer there.
That's one of the stories that we don't put in the brochure.
It would resonate with our customers. It was but I never felt unsafe there or anything like that. Even working there in sales, I never felt unsafe. Entertaining, but never really unsafe.
Yeah, I remember the phone calls at 2 and 3 in the morning with the alarm having gone off, and he had to go into the office, and that happened a lot. And that was the other thing I remembered was how far. I was just astonished as to how far my dad would drive to work every day. I remember going to the summer that I worked with him doing my filing work. I just 55 miles each way. And
55 miles in and 55
he
miles
never
out.
complained, never said a word, never said, I want to move. My mom even offered when we had graduated. He's like, no, this is home. The home he'd built in April Sound.
Listen to 740 KTRH all the way in and all the way home.
Oh.
All
Well,
right.
you don't want that.
Hey, Allie.
We got Allie watching from the Georgetown office. Then we have a request out of the Bernie office. Congrats on the 200th episode. Fairland wants Eric to play the guitar.
I do too. Actually, I want to see that.
We're not. I don't have permission from the various artists that I cover.
That's true.
Yeah, we might get copyright struck. But...
Yeah. Otherwise, I would absolutely jam out Fairland.
We'll put some time in the family reunion agenda for that.
Yeah, we'll have a not so.
I didn't even know you played the guitar.
Not well.
I remember him. That's a memory I have from when we were kids. Him playing the guitar in the game room of the lake house every summer.
We all have that memory.
I've gotten better. Well, I got a better guitar anyway. It's like golf clubs, right, Andy? You get better golf clubs, you shoot better. Is that no?
That's right.
Well, or like me, I dress 70 and shoot 100.
Choppers made an appearance.
Oh, Chopper's joining.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah,
right,
I will say, if I may, that some of the favorite memories I've had is being able to work with Operation Finally Home, providing disabled veterans coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, and building homes for them. And kind of what topped that off is we got on that show, Extreme Home Makeover. And that was a wild experience, building a house in 6 days and getting it all done and going 24 hours a day. But other than that, I mean, I think we built 6-7 homes for disabled vets, and I think that was a fun thing to do, and it helped a lot. Not to mention building some homes for displaced married women and their children because of abuse. And I think that's a great and laudable thing to do for, our expertise, which is building homes. And I always remember that. It's a great charity, Operation Finally Home. If you have not heard of it, look it up.
Yeah, and y'all made that possible, folks. Like the customers, we couldn't do that without y'all buying homes from us. Like that doesn't
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's
and our vendors and contractors who, give us discounts or just actually give it to us for free for these wounded veterans, and some of them are pretty severely hurt and damaged, both emotionally and physically. Anyway, not to bring it a bummer, but I think it's a great cause.
Yeah, it's great to be able to give back like that.
Yeah,
for sure. What else we got, Don? We got some other questions.
Yeah, we got
a 5-minute.
Yeah, Jason has some questions. I know I need to install my water meter, but what is the next step from Tilson, the soil sample?
Yeah, so I can tell you, Jason, actually, I went and looked because I have access to this stuff. I'm such an astute businessman. We actually ordered that on December the 4th. So your soil test has been ordered. They're probably waiting on a little bit of weather. There's a little bit of time delay there to get the drilling rig in. But yeah, the soil test will be next. And then they'll take that information back. So MLA Labs will come do that, and they'll take that information back, and they'll start actually designing the foundation. Once you sign your plans, then we can order the foundation design. That may have been done. They were signed 3 days ago. So done and done. So Chris's team is hot and heavy drafting getting the stuff ready for the engineers to do their part. So yeah, you're well on track. So get the water meter in and go on about our business. Should be easy to do right now. You should have a little bit of rain in East Texas.
Yeah. We got Lucky sharing. This is her favorite live so far. Love this company. Thanks, you, Lucky. We got Jason saying your veterans work is greatly appreciated. Thanks, you Jason. For that. Thanks, Will Jason. Is also saying that's very nice to do for disabled vets. Thank you, Will. And then we got Jason saying, and by the way, Galaga is a better game than Pac-Man.
So look, here's the deal.
Brandon. With you up until right there.
Brandon's drawing the line. Good news, Jason. It's one of the kind of the cheesy Costco Pac-Man thingy, so it has Galaga on there. There's like 30 games on the thing, and it may or may not be on a 2x12 platform. So so from a height perspective, my son doesn't have an advantage over me. So we can get after it side by side. No one has one advantage over the other than I can still push him around for a brief amount of time.
But doesn't have Ms. Pac-Man on it because that was actually the.
It does have Ms. Pac-Man.
Okay.
Yeah, I have something similar.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But we have no problem in my house empowering women. That's not an issue, as you can see from earlier.
Yes. We got Jason saying, "Thanks for that, Eddie. Our vets deserve so much more than they receive. I salute Tilson for taking care of them."
Yeah.
I agree.
Then we've got Carolyn saying, "Congrats on episode 200." Thanks, Carolyn.
Thanks, Carolyn. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
All right. So, folks, will be last call for questions, comments, anything like that. And maybe in 4 more years, we'll assemble the Avengers one more time and do that again. Oh, Eric's got a comment.
Eric's got a comment. I've learned a lot about Tilson over the past 8 months. All of these stories exemplify and reinforce my opinion of Tilson. I don't know the exact reason I chose the Tilson family. Great culture. Oh, thank you, Eric.
That's awesome, Eric.
Thank
I think you had.
Awesome.
I think Jerry Butler did your stakeout. Who does it every day for us?
Yeah.
So, 47 years, Eddie. Is that right? He's been here.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's currently our longest tenured employee. He's got Eddie eclipsed by like a decade and a half, and Eddie's been here like 33 years. Like it's a long time.
That actually, I did have some questions for the audience if you guys want to answer it. And so those were, the team was interested in when did you first start watching Tilson live?
Oh.
And then what's the best tip you've learned from watching Tilson live? So if you guys want to put that in the comments, we may have some like gift cards that we'll pull for after this.
Oh, we got some guys. There's money up for grabs, Andy.
We'll do some prizes after. Sorry, this is Amanda. She's sharing a story I can elaborate on. Her favorite Tilson memory is getting everyone to sing the 12 Days of Christmas at the Extreme Makeover. So that episode that Eddie was talking about was around Christmas, in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And our job, Amanda and I, at that point worked for the marketing agency. So we were putting together a video for the Christmas card. And so we ran around, everybody was doing all the real work during the day. We ran around at night trying to find construction equipment and getting them to sing a version of the 12 Days of Christmas using different construction equipment and pieces of the home. And that's when we learned that they didn't actually use hammers on the job site, that it was all. Because I think day 12, was it day 12, Amanda? I think was hammers, and like we could only find 3 and they were sledgehammers.
Yeah.
That was fun. And we had like, because of who that build was for, it was actually the Army Corps of Engineers that were there as well. So we had all these Army guys singing.
Oh, that's right. They were all
doing this with their sledgehammers and singing. It was the best.
Bossos, they were down there.
Yeah.
So if you can find a very, very old YouTube video, you can hear Amanda and I sing on it. So that's your challenge.
And they were the Army of Engineers. You know, you have to realize that their job is to go into a war zone and build housing. So they're not so
I think hanging out with us qualified.
Yeah, but they're not so concerned about the aesthetics. They want to get it built and get the heck out of the war zone.
Move on to the next thing.
Yeah, and so there were some, adjustments we had to make through, but those guys were dedicated, and the guys from Fort Hood were great. We had lieutenant generals and major generals come in, and it was really a cool deal.
Yeah, it was actually this week, however many years ago, because my Facebook memories keep popping up.
December 10th. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We all have different.
We started today. Yeah, December 10th.
Today was the day that we went and saw Dane Cook. Because I remember explaining to all of y'all who Dane Cook was, and that was the comedian, and we were going.
And we had Congressman John Carter come out and present the flag, who's still a congressman. 14 years later.
Well, aren't you always?
It was really cool. Yeah. We had a lot of sponsors. The Texas Association of Builders provided volunteers. It was a really good group.
It was. And then I remember, I don't know if I ever told you this, Eddie, I went and visited a different build and found out that we were the only builder they'd ever worked with who actually did what they told us to do. And so they didn't know what to do, because I arrived and there were like there were all these people from the show responsible for PR and all this. I was like, what is this? We did not have this. They're like, well, you didn't need it. So they refer to our build as their vacation week.
Yeah, we thought we actually had 6 literal days to build it, because
look, we did. Yeah, they sent a binder. So, actually, Gary sent me all the PDFs. So I dutifully printed them all out, put it in a binder, brought it to the meeting, and was like, it says we have to do this, guys. We got to do this.
Yeah.
I'm a rule follower.
And very few of those builds ever got finished in the 6 days.
Mm-hmm. But ours did.
Few. Ours did, yeah.
We did ours in 5 because they loaded furniture fast early.
Yeah.
We got some comments rolling in on your questions, so we got some.
We do. All right, let's see. We've got Erica saying
Will's got a comment on when he started watching, unless he's back to he's got a whole farm to tend to.
Yeah, he might be taking care of the animals.
Yeah.
So Erica's saying congratulations on 200 episodes.
Thanks, Erica.
Eric wants to know, how much time have you got? I've spent a lot of time attending these live sessions.
I got all day, but the other guy's got to go to work.
We got Denise. She says, been watching since early 2024 when we purchased our property. Very happy we chose Tilson to build our forever home. Oh, thank you, Denise. Eric says, Dawn and Eric know better than to open the floor to me. Oh, bring it. Let's go. We had Phyllis saying, for about a year now, enjoy all the customer home plans that have been previewed. These are so informational. Congrats on the 200th episode. Thank you, Phyllis. We got Jennifer saying, I started watching when we were shopping for builders. I love that you answer questions live. Still learning and have lots more to learn about the process. We love the Polidoro, but waiting until spring to begin the process so that we're not relocating schools in the middle of an academic year.
That's fair.
All right. Taisha says 2023 is when I started watching live. Best tip is if it's a struggle getting it in the attic, it doesn't belong.
See, Eddie, look, invaluable. I'm still waiting for my phone call.
Put me in, coach. Put me in.
We got Jennifer saying we started watching a year and a half ago. It's one of the reasons we chose Tilson. My husband thought Eric had a lot of knowledge and seemed to know what he was talking about.
Well, he thought. I saw that it was past tense. Thanks, Jennifer.
Jason says, I have a memory that keeps growing. You guys are all family, but I feel like we as customers are part of something special, not trying to be dramatic, but our experience from the start has been unbelievable. We couldn't have chosen another builder, and I have zero regrets. This process has been fun and easy, and I can't thank everyone enough. Oh, thank you, Jason.
Yeah. Got to meet Jason out there at Republic Grand Ranch. It was on.
Then we got Eric saying I should get the official Tilson Most Pizza Customer Award. Nope. Not even close. We got Rose saying we started watching after our first visit to the Waxahachie office, August of 2023. We attended the Waco grand reopening to see Tampico and attended some other seminars to learn more and hone in on what we want in our dream house. And now we're a few weeks away from closing and moving into our dream home, Tampico and Eustis.
Oh, wow.
We enjoy every step of the build and glad we chose Tilson Homes. Y'all are great to work with and do great jobs. We will always tell friends about how great y'all are. Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Ro. Wow.
And then we've got Brett Martin saying, excellent discussion. I'll bring Chris artwork for his wall.
Brett, come over here right now. Come over here right now.
Uh-oh.
He's right on the other side of this wall.
You're about to find out. Why.
You want to meet more of the family, huh? Is that what everyone wanted?
We're an extended family now.
He's not coming.
No.
Well, I'll say this couldn't have been done, obviously, without Don and Eric, and the discipline they have to do this every week is amazing, and the knowledge that Eric and Don both bring is a blessing to Tilson and our customers, and I appreciate everything they've done because it's not easy to do these shows every week. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Eddie.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I know it's definitely not easy for Dawn to do it every week with me. So that can't be. It's like
well, if I didn't do this, I
know that's true, but I wasn't going to say that.
Even like the lowest level felony is 2 to 10. You usually out after 2 years. And Dawn's
how would you know?
Well, There's other Tilson stories that involve, law enforcement and jail time, but those are not.
Maybe that's why I haven't gotten my phone call yet.
We're out of time. No. We clearly have no problem with that. It runs in Eddie's family. I guess it's technically our family.
No, that wasn't my family.
Eddie's like, wait a minute, I'm married in. I'm not.
It's true.
I think it's in your family.
It's seemingly something genetic on the Allery side and the booking system. Anyway, so we thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys and for joining. I know you took time out of your day. So thank you, Andy. Thank you, Brandon, Chris, Eddie. Thank you for doing this. Dawn, obviously, thank you for crushing each and every single one of these and making it out with facial radio look reasonably. Oh no, now it's getting real. It's time to sign off. We have that's a good idea. Oh yeah, I know why he's got his. Yeah, you can show his zipper face.
I'm not. It's not showing to me. Okay.
We're gonna call that privileged information. That's how that works.
Okay.
In the world of Western jurisprudence.
Very important phone number to have right there.
Yeah. He's a good guy to know. But anyway, thank you all so
Actually,
much.
we do have Will. Hold on.
Oh, there we go.
We've been very happy with our Tilson home and the Tilson employees who we worked with, and all that we have met have been the very best, very caring professionals. And you'll have a blessed holiday season. Thank you, Will.
I gotta go tour Will's farm. There's a YouTube of that. One of our YouTubes is me touring Will's farm, seeing the chickens and the cows and pigs and all that good stuff. It actually got me into it. So thank you, Will, for inspiring me to do that stuff. And I too now have my own mud hole right out here, especially this time of year. So it's a lot of fun. Big mess and smells terrible, and I love it. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you for watching all these things. Obviously, it doesn't stop here, right? We got a website that's open 24/7 with new home specialists on standby to answer all your questions. We got 12 design centers open 7 days a week. We want to hear from you guys. Sit down, have a cup of coffee, draw your plans, go through those design details. We have a whole staff of people standing by to help you make this dream a reality. That's what we're there for. We got an Instagram page for people Andy's age and under. We've got what else do we got? We got a YouTube channel that's got tons and tons and tons of content. Donna and her team have done an amazing job on that. We have a Facebook page for people Chris's age and older. There and
I need physical papers.
Can you call on the telephone for people my age?
Chris,
yes.
Eddie, we got readers for that kind of stuff. But basically, what we're telling you, we can help. I don't care if you're 17 years old or 97 years old. We can help you get a house built. There we go. Oh, how very distinguished. You're not fooling me, Kent. So,
Right.
Yeah, I've been places with you. So anyway, reach out to us. We don't want the journey to end here. We want to help you get this home built. We hope to see you again soon, and genuinely soon hope to make you part of the Tilson family, this Tilson family. We'll see y'all later. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.